Hi and welcome to this week's My Marketology Lab. I'm Tony and I'm My Marketology's head marketologist. Now every week we look to bring you the latest and breaking news from the digital marketing world. We don't want you to miss out, so subscribe now before we get going. Now you've probably noticed over the last month or so that there's been a massive focus online around email marketing and the benefits that it offers digital marketers in all industries. Now the e-commerce industry in particular has now realised that to be successful in this industry, email marketing has to be a major part of their marketing strategies. Now, believe it or not, a recent study has found that 73% of e-commerce businesses using Shopify and Magento aren't actually using email marketing at all in the marketing strategies. Also, according to an eMarketer report in 2016, the median return on investment for email marketing was 122%. These are amazing stats which highlight a big concern, especially for the e-commerce niche, but also for other niches as well. How much business are you actually losing out on by either not including email marketing in your strategies or by not getting it right in the first place? So this brings us to the topic of this week's lab, persuasive email copywriting. Now we can't help anyone who isn't implementing email marketing. Based on the information that we've already given, they're either happy losing all of that potential business or they're just not going to be watching this video in the first place. So where are you now? So you've realised obviously that email marketing is vital to your marketing activity. You've also watched our videos on subject lines and email copywriting strategy. I recommend that you watch those definitely. The links will be on the screen for you. Now you have decided that you want to write the most persuasive email copy that will increase the effectiveness of your email campaigns. So first of all, to cut email marketing right back to its absolute basics, you only need the recipient of your email to do one thing, and that is to click through from your email. Getting an open is good, but you aren't going to get a profit unless you get that person to go somewhere else with a specific objective in mind. So first of all, here's our advice on how to write persuasive email copy. Now you may have seen this model before, the AIDA model or the AIDA model. Let me explain what it is. So basically it's a visual representation of the natural progression of an encounter with a prospect that would hopefully eventually lead to a sale. You might know it by another name, and it's called the purchase funnel. It works very closely with the marketing strategy funnel too. Now when it comes to email marketing, this model will be the progression from your subscribers seeing your email to the time that they click on the link in your email. So let's take it a step at a time while showing you some great examples. So first of all, attention. You have to get your subscribers' attention. Without that, you'll never get them to click. If you don't get their attention, there's more than a good chance that your email won't be read and that it'll simply be deleted. Now, along with subject lines, which we've already covered in the previous video, links on screen for you, your copy also needs to draw attention to the reason why you've sent the email. So here's an example of an email that can't fail to capture the reader's attention. The image at the top, first of all, was an animation that supports the headline of the content. This is a great way to capture attention when the email's opened. There's also a very clear and highlighted headline. My attention's already been grabbed just before I even get to the content itself. So the first two tricks there for you. So do something to capture their attention and to continue to hopefully gain their interest, which is the next stage. Now in this stage of the model, you're looking to keep your subscriber engaged with the email and also reading the copy. Now you'll only achieve this objective by gaining and keeping their interest. So the relevancy of content is absolutely vital part of this. You need to make sure that you're offering the right content to the right audience. So your segmentation approach will build the foundation of that. When you've identified the correct copy for your target segments, you then need to connect with your subscriber. And you do this by using one of three approaches. The first is talking about a problem that your readers care about. So write about something that keeps them up at night or a problem that they desperately want a solution for. That will ensure that they're interested in what you have to say. The second option is to tell a story. So humans are hardwired to listen to stories. We're interested in what happens to other people, and we tend to identify with characters in stories. We may even have the same emotional responses, so stories are very, very powerful. The third approach is to make a big promise. So another way to make your readers look and read is to make a big, bold statement. Doing that makes them lean in and mentally ask, really? How? Of course, your promise needs to be big enough to be interesting, but it also needs to be believable enough to be actually taken seriously. So these approaches will keep your subscriber interested long enough to read your email. And here's an example of an email that can keep the reader's interest going through. The copy, first of all, is well structured. It can be scanned easily. Now, most people actually scan copy rather than reading it all. So remember that when writing and structuring your content. Don't try and do too much with the content itself. All you need to do is to spike that person's interest at this stage. Now, bullet points get the information across very, very quickly. They stand out for the reader, and in this example, they stand out even more because they're actually emojis rather than normal bullet points. This all adds up to gaining and keeping interest in the copy itself. As you can see, it's very clear, very concise, it's not trying to do too much, it's not 4 pages long, there's just enough information there to actually capture my attention and then keep me interested. So we move on to the next stage, desire. So now that you've got them reading your email copy, your next objective is to build a desire in them which is strong enough to make them click your call to action, because ultimately the click is what we're looking for. Without a desire, your subscribers will discontinue reading, or they'll read without clicking, and then delete and ignore your email basically. So sometimes you're going to be fighting apathy. Your subscribers might recognize a problem, and they might identify with your copy around it. But they might not care enough to actually do anything to solve the problem, or in your case, click on your call to action. They might be too lazy, they might be too busy, they might be preoccupied. In the main body of copy of your email, you need to make your subscribers care so much about your offer that they overcome those potential obstacles. And there are several ways that you can do this. The first is to show the features and benefits. People make buying decisions based on emotion, but also need to rationalize those decisions with facts. Give your subscribers some emotion and facts to make them feel good about wanting your offer. Give them the facts, the objective and observable characteristics of the offer. Try and arouse their emotions by going beyond features and pointing out the benefits. Try referring to changes in your subscribers' condition as well that occur as a result of consuming your offer. So again, features and benefits can be a little bit bland. You need to get their emotions playing into this as well. So here's an example to show you what I mean. A free white paper might give them the information to do something with confidence, to earn the admiration of the colleagues, and to feel smart. The best way to identify the benefit of a feature or a set of features is to ask, so what, 5 times. So you have a free white paper about email best practices. So what? Keep asking until you've uncovered the deepest results that your subscribers want. The second approach is to prove it. So if you've made a big promise or a statement, you absolutely have to prove it. You can also cite specific results from customers or promise to show a video demonstration. Before and after photos are powerful proof elements too. You could also paint a vivid picture of life with your product to whet your subscribers' appetite. The third is to use social proof. No matter how independent-minded we think we are, we all tend to do what others are doing, and that's called social proof. And it's a very, very powerful concept in digital marketing. An example of social proof is telling readers that 15,479 people have already downloaded your free white paper. Testimonials are another form of social proof. Make sure the individuals giving the testimonials are as similar to your readers as possible and that the testimonials are real. So make it scarce, the last point. So FOMO, or the fear of missing out on something, increases that desire. On the other hand, when something's plentiful and readily available, we actually take things for granted. This is the basis for using scarcity in marketing. To add scarcity to your offer, make it available for a limited time only. If it's for a physical product, say that the number of items is limited. Whatever you do, don't manufacture it though. Always tell the truth. Persuasive copy is also authentic and honest. So, now your subscribers chomping at the bit for your offer, your job still isn't done. Many subscribers get to this point and then delete the email. So you don't want to let that happen with your subscribers. Before we move on to the last point, which is getting action from those subscribers, we'll look at a quick example of using the desire and building desire in email copy. So as you can see, we've got an example from the Salesforce World Tour here. So first of all, we have an emotive headline, blaze your trail to customer success. Very powerful imagery and words there. We've got a personalized hello. So we've got a hello with that contact's name and a very sort of personal and you. It's mentioning you all the time. We're already trying to draw emotions from just the very small amount of text that we've already used in this email. We've then got joined up messaging. So as you can see, the trailhead, start blazing your trail today. We're still using the same language. It's joined up messaging. It's all cohesive. We're not trying to do too many things. One reason for the email. That's all they're using here. And then it's all about the subscriber. So again, a lot of it is all about you, and it mentions you and your. This gets the buy-in from that contact. It's building on their emotions. They can see the benefit to why they should be clicking through. So, action. We're nearly there. We're almost there. The finish line for persuasive email copywriting is telling your subscribers what you want them to do next. You already know this as the call to action, or CTAs. Your ultimate goal is to get that all-important click. We've already discussed it. So you need to tell your subscribers to do it. Whatever happens, don't assume that they'll know what they need to do. You need to spell it out for them. And as you can see, there are 4 ways to create effective call to actions. The first one is to lower the cost of clicking. So make a high value offer while keeping the cost of clicking to a minimum. Place your call to action at the bottom of your email. This is usually best practice, but the next best location is on the left side of the email. This is just advice though. Nothing will ever stand up to your own experimentation and testing in your own emails. If you find that call to actions in different locations get better click-through rates, leave them there and test with other locations as well. Third point is to use arrows and graphic elements to emphasize your call to action button as well. It needs to stand out. You need to make it clear what people need to do. And the final point is to consider putting multiple call to actions throughout your email. The PS of your email, for example, is another good place to have your call to action. Try not to use more than one call to action per email though, although you can use that multiple times. Main reason for that is subscribers can get easily confused. So here's one last example to highlight this essential part of the AIDA or AIDA model. And it's a message, an email from Samsung regarding the S7. Now, this example from Samsung actually encompasses every single part of the process that we've walked you through in this video. You could say it's almost perfect. First of all, it has a strong visual header image with a snappy headline copy. So even before you get any further down, it's already grabbing your attention. The email looks clear on desktop and mobile devices as well. There are multiple, prominent and clear call to actions. Although they're not the same, there's a reason why they're not the same. We'll cover that very shortly. Now the body copy is very well targeted towards the target market, but it doesn't try to oversell the products on offer. As you can see, the amount of text and copy that's actually there isn't enough to try and sell everything by itself. All they're doing is gaining the attention, gaining interest and keeping interest so you read through the rest of the email, then building a desire to find out more about the product or to buy the product in this case, and then the call to actions are all buy buttons, even though they're slightly different. Also notice the testimonials and the call to actions, which are very clear, and they also ask for the business. Samsung have created one email here to sell both S7 products, the S7 and the S7 Edge, which would have been deliberately because the target users weren't sure whether they wanted the S7 or the S7 Edge. They could, Samsung in this case, have created separate emails for both products. But how would they have created separate segments to send to as well? It was a new product launch, so they probably didn't have enough data on the prospects to be able to decide who prefers the S7, who prefers the S7 Edge. So all in all, this is an amazing email, not just in design, but also in the copy that was used. You may have noticed that the body copy uses powerful language to highlight the power and benefits of buying either of these devices. It grabs attention, it spikes the subscriber's interest and keeps it, it creates a desire in the reader, and it clearly states what action the subscriber needs to make. This is persuasive email copywriting at its absolute finest. So in conclusion, following the AIDA model when creating your email copy will ensure that you're driving the highest click-through rates through persuasive and relevant content. Use this formula as a series of steps. If you try to cut corners, you'll trip yourself up. You need to lead your subscribers through it step by step, and you'll be much more likely to be successful, just as Samsung did in that last example there. So here are some final words of advice. Keep your copy concise. Don't try to sell in the email, just aim for that click-through. Make your call to actions clear and use copy that shows the benefits of clicking rather than just click here or learn more or read more. Only use one call to action per email, although you can consider using that multiple times. Test the approach of your copy and consider A/B testing to see what works best with each segment that you're sending to. Your copy needs to be tailored to each segment. It's not a one approach suits all technique. And finally, don't be afraid to fail. You won't get it perfect first time. It's not guaranteed. So next time you sit down to create an email, think about the AIDA model. If you apply it consistently, it'll soon become second nature and you'll find that your emails become much more persuasive. Now we're always open to any questions that you might have at My Marketology. Please contact us if you do have any questions about email marketing, copywriting, any other digital marketing disciplines, or if you just want to suggest a topic for future labs. You can do that by using our social channels or by emailing us at hello@mymarketology.com. Why not even consider sharing your new persuasive email copy with us? So that's it for this week. Thank you for calling by. Leave a comment below to let us know that you visited, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.